We train our team to have these coffee cards and to try and find excuses to give them to clients as an extra. Oh, sorry, it took a little longer than planned, Jane. Have a coffee card. By the way, apology for being 2 minutes late, Aaron. Here's a free coffee on us. This means that for all of the tiny little nonsense stuff, we always have a tool handy to buff up the edges of our customer service experience. Hey you, I'm Mark, husband of one, father of three, maker of puns, climber of trees, grower of businesses, pitcher of tents, occasional cutter of cheese, word nerd, and lover of families. Oh no. Oh no, not yet. No. Oh, here he comes. Where's my oar? Showed that Kraken who's boss. At least until like 2 p.m. this afternoon. I think I'll be due for another attack by then. Let's jump into it. Hey, welcome to all of you, bandits and chilies. This episode is called Networking Not Working. Have you ever gone to a networking event? Have you visited or joined a local BNI chapter? Have you tried reaching out to people in your area that you know the people that you can bring value to? How has it gone? Oof, that bad, huh? It can feel awkward and worse yet, pointless when it seems like everyone is just trying to literally or metaphorically get their business cards into other people's pockets. It can feel like you're talking past each other, only listening so much as to know how to respond and seeking an opportunity to segue to the thing that you do. Oh, your cat was run over in your driveway? Well, it's your lucky day. I do pressure washing. I'll get that cleaned right up for you. I was in BNI for a few years and it was good for our business. And I've dabbled in other forms of networking with varying levels of success. But then, more recently, I learned the key thing to completely change your networking game. I wish I knew this way earlier because not only is this so much more effective than what I've previously done, but it is also easier and way more fun. Just before we get to that, I want to share a couple of thoughts about BNI or similar groups if you're considering joining one, and also to explain my 2-week hiatus from podcast episodes. So apologies for the unplanned break, or at least unwarned break, but I just completed part 1 of an epic project which has been about 2.5 years in the making. And it is probably the coolest thing that I've ever done in my life so far. And I say part 1 because part 2 will come in about 5 years' time. It's sort of a long-term thing. Anyway, I am working on, this is way more family-oriented than business-oriented. And I am working on a recap and explanation of everything related to that. So there will be an announcement, hopefully by next week's podcast, about a short summary of this insane idea. But it is honestly such a cool idea. Like if you hear this idea and you think that, that's like, meh, it's okay, it's not really for me, or it doesn't like inspire you to take some action. If you don't think it's cool, then I just don't think that we can be friends because it is 100% very, very cool. So that just the implementation of that just took a bit longer, took a bit more time than I was expecting. So I've been focusing on that. And I was hoping by this point to have collated that into a little resource that I was going to reference on this episode, but that has not happened yet because everything has just been a little bit slower and more involved than I was expecting. Anyway, on to BNI similar networking groups. Firstly, you should 100% at least see what is available in your area and go visit. With BNI, I think the rule of thumb is that you can visit twice before you would need to join to attend again. But honestly, if you stretch that out over some time, and if, this is if you don't want to sign up right away, you would definitely be allowed to go more than that, unless the leadership team was really anal, in which case it's probably not a group that you want to join anyway. But go and put yourself out there, see what is available near you. For a local cleaning service business, your opportunities inside a BNI group or similar are going to hugely depend on who else is inside the group and even on who has been a member previously. So here's a few things that you'd want to find out. What categories are taken within the group? In BNI, there are set categories and only one business can take that category. However, there are overlaps. For example, The group that I was in had 3 accountants taking different categories. From memory, it was something like small, medium, and large, meaning the kinds of clients that they were after, not like, their individual height or weight or something like that. But regarding cleaning, perhaps, you do windows, carpets, and pressure washing. Remember that cat in the driveway? Each of those would be its own category, and you can only join under one category. So if you join as a window cleaner, you're not supposed to vie for carpet cleaning work. And theoretically, if another cleaning business wanted to take the carpet cleaning category for the same group that you are in, they could. Now, there's a lot of factors there, and a good BNI group will be very transparent about any possible conflicts of interest, as well as giving preference to the existing member about an application of a potential member. For example, when I was in BNI, another cleaning business wanted to join, and I was asked if that was okay with us. Their services complemented ours, so I was actually really excited to have them in. But nonetheless, I was given preference. If it was going to be an issue for us, the group would have denied their application. Another reason why it's important to know who is in the group is that, lawyers and conveyancers, they're all great and all, but they don't generally have a lot of overlap with your business in terms of how they are dealing with their clients. Even if they're dealing with the right people, they're not having the same kinds of conversations. Whereas if you have other services, trades and services in the group, they're having very similar sorts of tones of conversations. So for example, let's just say that you have an ideal client that is being serviced by a pest control company and that is being, looked after by a conveyancer. The conversations that they're having and that are likely to be organically able to be had around how either of those other businesses could weave you into the conversation, you can just see how it's so much easier for the pest control guy. His job directly relates to your job of cleaning. After the pests are controlled, if it's windows, there's often overspray and that kind of stuff that needs to be removed. Likewise with house washing, roof washing, pressure washing, there could be loads of other things where if that's the kind of maintenance that is being done on their home, it makes sense that you are an extension of that. Now, with conveyancing, as the other example, probably not the best counterexample, there is a bit of overlap because if someone is selling their home, there's a lot of things that go into preparing the sale of that home. But in my experience, where there's that kind of second order overlap, you would really need to have a much deeper conversation with the person in that category, the conveyancer, to help them understand who you're looking for, what you can offer, how you bring value, and how they can make this leap in the way that they're dealing with someone in a business capacity to introduce the topic or the idea of your service into a conversation. So whilst that example, it could reasonably be done, it's not as clear cut as another service would be. Also, not everyone in the group is going to have any overlap. Like I remember in our group, we had one lady that was, her business was like very health focused. And I remember sitting with her on a one-on-one and having a conversation. And basically I said, look, I actually think that we service a lot of the clients that you're after, but I don't see how, like let's say that I'm in someone's home cleaning their windows. And it's, this middle-aged lady who might be a good fit for your program. I'm not about to like weave the conversation of her gut health into this service experience. Like that's just, it's weird. It's not going to fly. I'm not, if I did do it, I'm still not going to get you more customers. I'm just going to get less customers for me. I'm going to scare them away from all of us. Right. So, and the lady whose business this was, her response is actually perfect for this because she said it's really not about that. If you understand who else is in your group really well, you can figure out where the connections are to be made, and the whole group can do well together. If you have a really good group of people, whether it's BNI or anything else, if there's a good culture in that group, if people are showing up to give more than they take, that kind of stuff can go around. And maybe I never ever give her a referral for anyone ever, but I give 8 referrals to some other guy, and that person has a connection with this other person in the group who is sustained in the group from them, and they give their referrals onto her, right? So the way that networking group works is that you're going to have channels of support and channels that you can, give referrals out to. But over the course of that network, you supporting an unrelated business in the group is still supporting this business in the group that you're never going to refer to, right? So I probably explained that really poorly, but I hope that kind of makes sense. Anyway, let's just roll with it. Okay, so back to the one category thing. We had a carpet supplier in our group. So joining as a carpet cleaner, that was great news, except that's actually not true because we joined under the window cleaning category, but I would still get referrals for our other services because there were no other cleaners in the group. Now, as I mentioned, you'll also want to find out who has been in there previously. Maybe Seamus's cleaning service has just left the group after 5 years. Sure, he's gone, but he has a lot of rapport built up with everyone. So will you get as many referrals as you otherwise would have? Maybe. The incentives are there for people to refer within the group. Everyone needs to hit their metrics and all of that. It's kind of like a business cult, to be honest. It's weird, but if you have a good group of people, it's not too bad. Quick random note on BNI too, with their KPIs and their metrics and stuff. You need to spend at least 5 hours per week to do BNI properly, right? If you are not able to commit 5 hours per week, just don't bother doing it because there's no point spending the money and half showing up and not being able to demonstrate your value and extract the value from the group. There's just no point doing it. Now, I don't know if they still have this as a requirement or not, but when I was in, you were supposed to complete an education component each week, and their content was so sterile. Like, this may not be the single best podcast that you've ever heard, though it is totally worthy of your 5-star review, so go and do that now. But the BNI podcast is just about the worst thing I've ever heard. Like, I don't really like the word triggering, but let's just say that I'm not going to listen to an episode of it to reminisce, okay? Now, lastly, the who is in the group extends beyond just which categories are filled. If you really don't resonate with anyone, especially people who are likely to have contacts that could benefit you, then look, I mean, give it a chance, give it some time, try and build that rapport. But at the end of the day, it may not be the best opportunity for you. You want to have good connections with these people. If you can't build genuine rapport and people are only referring because of the group sort of KPIs push, if that's the only incentive, then it's just always going to feel really hard and clunky. So you want to have good, solid, genuine relationships that you can just build organic rapport with those people. You want to really resonate with the people that you're dealing with. You should ask about the stats of the group as well. BNI are meticulous trackers of their KPIs, and everyone in the group will be graded, and then subsequently on a state and national level, all of the groups are graded as well. So how is the group looking? How do they rank compared to the state? Now, they may not be obligated to answer this question if you ask it, but realistically, if they're ranked well, if their group is on fire, then they will want to share that with you. So even if they don't answer, that's kind of an answer. Now, okay, that's enough about BNI for now. What are some other networking opportunities that you can take or create within your home service business? Here's 2. Firstly, create a Dream 100 list. You've probably heard this 50 times, but don't switch off your brain because let's just say that you have heard this 50 times. Have you committed to actually doing it once? Yeah, that's what I thought. If you have done this, great. Pat on the back for you. There's probably 150,000 ways that you could improve it, no doubt, but good on you. Now, let me talk to these other people for a second. If you have not made a Dream 100 list, despite having heard of the concept, and you felt yourself yawn internally when I brought it up, then I would like to ask you a very incisive question. Are you listening to this podcast to be entertained or because you want to grow your business? Because look, I try to throw in some humor and I think that this podcast has performed better than Disney's Snow White remake in terms of entertainment, but I doubt that that's why you're actually here. In fact, scratch that. It may very well be that you are here to be entertained, but I doubt that that's the reason that you would tell yourself that you are here. I've done this and that's why I'm calling it out. You don't need to hear a brand new idea on a list of networking tricks. It may not be entertaining to hear an idea that you've already heard, but you could build a 7 or 8 figure cleaning business solely off the back of working a Dream 100 list. Don't get me wrong, I'm not grumpy. I'm also not sleepy, bashful, sneezy, or doc either. I'm happy and I might be dopey though. You see what I'm saying? This is why you shouldn't come here to be entertained. If you're here, let it be to take action and to implement. I would suggest starting with a Dream 10 list instead of a Dream 100 list. Get yourself going. Don't feel the overwhelm. The important thing is to start making the actual connections with the actual humans on the list. In case you don't know what a Dream 100 list is, by the way, probably should explain that. Essentially, it's a list of 100 people that you wish had you lodged permanently in the front of their brain under the category of the thing that you do. Imagine if these real estate agents over here and that strata manager over there and the mayor of your town, whenever they thought of your service, they automatically thought of you. So write out those people and then start getting yourself on their radar. I'll come back to how to do that in a moment with the overarching networking tip that I alluded to at the start, but for now, next option, build an offer for businesses that you want to work with. You could do this individually, or you could make it an offer that would work for several businesses. I'll give an example of each. We teamed up with a local bakery that has 5 locations in our town. The owners are genuinely lovely people and they have crushed it with their business. It's run like a McDonald's in there and their staff are on point. I've never had a customer service experience there which was not above average. Anyway, we do their windows and I had a chat with them one day about an idea. I wanted to design and pay for some coffee cards that would be branded with their logo as well as our own. On one side, it's a little thank you message from us with a space to write the client's name, and on the other side is their logo and details. This is the deal that we struck with them. Someone brings in one of those cards and can redeem a free beverage. At the end of every month, they send us an invoice for those free beverages and we pay for them. You might not think that this sounds like a great deal, but let me assure you that it is and that you should totally do the same thing. We train our team to have these coffee cards and to try and find excuses to give them to clients as an extra. Oh, sorry, it took a little longer than planned, Jane. Have a coffee card. By the way, apology for being 2 minutes late, Aaron. Here's a free coffee on us. This means that for all of the tiny little nonsense stuff, we always have a tool handy to buff up the edges of our customer service experience. Also, the vast majority of people never redeem vouchers. That's true of all kinds of vouchers too. So another quick tip is to sell service vouchers, maybe a gift card seasonal sale that people can buy a $200 gift card for their mum, but it's on sale and only costs them $150. Chances are that you just made $150 for a job that will never happen. Anyway, back to the coffee cards. When people don't redeem them, we still get the brownie points for them and it only cost us like 3 cents for the card. Huge win. Think about how empowering this is for your employees to have a tool like this on hand to just throw at minor problems and build rapport with customers. Now let's consider what happens if someone does redeem the voucher. Well, now they have received it. They've already donated their brownie points to us. Yay, we cash those in straight away. Then they have to plan to go to one of the bakery's locations with this card. So this whole concept lives rent-free in their head for a bit before they actually go. Then they go there, they pull out this card which has our logo on it and the memory of a good customer service experience with us attached to it. Then they get a free coffee. And how do you imagine that they are feeling about us right in that moment? Let's say that this is a week or a month after their service. For just $5 or $6, we have just released an infusion of feel-good brain chemicals into the mind of a customer who would have otherwise long forgotten that we even existed because they didn't need our service right in that moment. I mean, people are busy. They've got their lives to get on with. They're not just constantly thinking about our business, but they are now way more likely to remember us the next time that we call or the next time that they need a thing done that we do or whatever it is. Chances are too that they probably didn't go and grab a coffee on their own. So they probably told a friend about it. That's a really solid win for $6. Okay. Now, what about building an offer for multiple businesses at once? Here's something that I'm working on right now. I am building a landing page to direct other non-competing businesses to. Businesses with overlap to our services or customers. Synergistic businesses. What is going to be on the landing page? A fantastic pre-built offer that they would be stupid to refuse. Then I'm going to reach out to select businesses, have a quick chat and say, hey, I've got this thing that you might be interested in. Let me flick you the link. And it is an all the work is completed for them offer, except for probably 10 minutes of stuff that only they can do. It costs them nothing. We will pay for all of it, and it is guaranteed to make them money. Would you like to know what the offer is? Book a free clarity call with me. Link in the description. I'll tell you all about it. Smooth, hey. Go on, book your call. It'll be fun. Now, what was the thing that I wish I knew years earlier about making networking more effective, easier, and more fun? I heard this from Ashley Latimer, whose tagline is that the best way to make friends is to be friendly. And this feels very on brand with that. Basically, you just forget about networking altogether. You prepare, you seek out networking opportunities, and then once you're in the position to start networking, you stop it. Just stop right there, mister. Don't be weird. Don't vie for their business or for referrals or whatever. Just literally have a conversation, be engaging, have fun, talk a lot about them, and genuinely try to bring value to them. Listen to their problems and see if you can come up with a solution. Don't just listen for how you're going to reply and segue into your pressure washing their dead cat off the driveway. Actually listen and just see where the conversation goes. I now aim to not even tell people what I do at networking events until I have already added value to them and made an impression with them as a human. If they don't ask what I do, I don't tell them. If they ask too early what I do, I say something like, hold on, let's come back to that. You were saying blah, 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 and redirect them just to keep the conversation about them for longer until I can find a way to bring value to them. This takes all of the weird energy out of networking and allows you to just show up and talk to people. Another reason that this works really well is because you are detached from the results. Networking is, by and large, a long-term strategy. You might get some instant work from it, but really the value is months and years down the road. Being detached from the outcome lets you show up on top of your networking game whether you sniff an opportunity for business or not. Because realistically, you have no idea who knows who and what the connections that are going to make the biggest difference for you will be. So prepare, put yourself out there, and then stop right there. Don't be a weird, spooky networker trying to get everyone in the room to buy your essential oils. Your challenge for today is to take action. Implement a thing from this episode. Write up a Dream 10 list. Arrange a BNI visit. Whatever. If you thought this episode was utter garbage and you don't think anything is worth implementing, alright, well then just take action and implement by leaving a 1-star review for it then, Karen. Seriously though, this episode is 20-something minutes long and here you are at the end of it. So spend 5 minutes actually actioning something from what you've already listened to. Something that will move the needle in your business. Perhaps something like booking a free clarity call with me. Link in the description. That one will only take you 1 minute. That's it. Have an awesome day. Make someone else's day awesome. I love you just the appropriate amount, like take whatever is weird and then take a healthy step backwards from that line. That's exactly how much. If it's weird, you're the weirdo. Catch ya. Bye. Are you picking up what I'm laying down? Are you sniffing what I'm stepping in? If you're looking for a really valuable community centered around building your business, being really intentional with your spouse and kids, and if you think you can tolerate my terrible dad jokes, then join Family-Oriented Business Growers. It's awesome. There's self-paced challenges designed to help you solve key pain points within your business in short, intentional sprints. There's awesome people in there doing awesome things who have experience with stuff that can help you, having stood where you stand. You'll benefit from what's in there, we'll benefit from having you in there, you legend you, and best of all, it's totally free and also free of toxic shenanigans because we don't tolerate none of that. The mission of the group is to help 250 family-oriented home service business owners reclaim 5 hours per week for what matters most whilst growing their business this year. So jump in there and get amongst it. Join via warplan.au, that's warplan.au. Oh no. He's early. Warplan.au. Catch you in there.